strain. My name is Kendall, and I have decided to do this kind of video blog. I'm gonna talk to you about stuff. I like talking about books. I like talking about movies. So basically what I've decided to do as the first video is talk about the writing style of Tolstoy, with the most common book of his, which is War and Peace, because I'm gonna do a project where I'm going to research him as hard as I can, find out all the different types of his writing style as well as his life, and kind of incorporate all those different aspects into a short story of my own. I want to make it obvious that I'm using his style. Okay. So Tolstoy is a very popular writer. He's still popular today. If you don't know him, I'm slightly surprised. This is considered 106 pages is considered a short story in Tolstoy's eyes. Tolstoy seemed to refuse to incorporate the common use of climaxes that are used in narrative. So, for example, in War and Peace, Tolstoy began the novel in the middle of a conversation. Yeah, I'm not going to read that to you. Next, a very, very common theme that is addressed towards Tolstoy's writing style would be his extremely detailed description of events that occurred in each and every one of his novels, which mostly included the thought process. So it was a very omnipotent style of writing that he put in like almost every single one of his novels, fiction novels, mind you. Okay. It's from Family Happiness. So she's in love with this man. It seemed to me an impossibility to learn a whole piece of music by heart, but now when I knew that he would hear it and might praise it, I would play a single movement 40 times over without stopping, till poor Katya stuffed her ears with cotton wool, while I was still not weary of it. The same old sonatas seemed quite different in their expression, and came out quite changed and much improved. Even Katya, whom I knew and loved like a second self, became different in my eyes. I now understood for the first time that she was not in the least bound to be the mother, friend, and slave that she was to us. Now I appreciated all the self-sacrifice and devotion of this affectionate creature, and all my obligations to her, and I began to love her even better. It was he, too, who taught me to take quite a new view of our serfs and servants and maids. It is an absurd confession to make, but I had spent 17 years among these people, and yet knew less about them than about strangers whom I had never seen. It had never once occurred to me that they had their affections and wishes and sorrows, just as I had. Our garden and woods and fields, which I had known so long, became suddenly new and beautiful to me. He was right in saying that the only certain happiness in life is to live for others. At the time his words seemed to me strange, and I did not understand them, but by degrees this became a conviction with me without thinking about it. He revealed to me a whole new world of joys in the present, without changing anything in my life, without adding anything except himself to each impression in my mind. All that had surrounded me from my childhood without saying anything to me suddenly came to life. The mere sight of him made everything begin to speak and press for admittance to my heart, filling it with happiness. It seems sort of a negative approach towards her love. It seems like she's pushing away from it, how she's saying that all of my thoughts have disappeared. All of my thoughts are now his thoughts. But at once, later on, she realizes that these are her true thoughts, and these thoughts make her, they do make her truly the happiest. Kind of he brings out her true self and understanding, and she is only 17. She's not entirely sure of who she is, and he's kind of given her that view of who she really is and what her thoughts really are. I mean, he's not forcing her into thinking in any way. she's thinking in this way on her own. So Tolstoy also used ordinary occurrences to examine such themes and topics like religion and feminism and war, and he also included elusive language material as well as direct quotes from the Bible in some of his books, which one very interesting example that I figured out was which relates to his Christianity, would be his non-fiction magnum opus, The Kingdom of God is Within You, which is also a quote from the Bible. And it seems to lay out a newfound interpretation of Christianity that he has figured out from 30 years' time worth involved in said religion. He wrote here that this social order with its pauperism, famines, prisons, gallows, armies, and wars is necessary to society, that still greater disaster would ensue if this organization were destroyed. All this is said only by those who profit by this organization, while those who suffer from it, and they are 10 times as numerous, think and say quite the contrary. He seems to kind of incorporate this, like, there's no kind of escaping this, all these problems that these people have tried to, very important. These organizations have tried to bring these things out, and if they were to be destroyed, then it would create a much bigger disaster, and the people who are suffering from these things that this organization has put out in front believe quite the contrary. So they want to fix it. They believe they can. So he's kind of got some sort of nonconformist view on that. And so for my next video, my part 2 of Tolstoy, which I'm planning to do, is I'm planning to read Tolstoy, The Comprehensive Vision. Here he is. I need to, like I said, I need to read, I need to research all about him, which is right in there, and then I'm going to show you my short story as well that incorporates his style. So